Hey, it's your book hound here, coming at you with another review of a book we want to howl about, so to speak. If you like what you see, hit subscribe, and you'll enjoy lots of great reviews and special offers and cool stuff every week. So today I want to talk to you about a book called To Catch a Storm by Mindy Mejia. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's how it's spelled. So this is a mystery. It starts with a college professor named Eve, who's an astrophysicist, flying her special research jet through a big storm. She's like a storm chaser. She's drawing all kinds of data and fascinating stuff. And you can kind of you meet her. She's very competent, a smart woman, scientist, and, got her act together sort of thing. And she lands the plane and finds out that her husband, who's also a college professor, this is set in Iowa, is missing. And his car, a Tesla, was found burning in the middle of a rainstorm, which is unusual, because usually, I guess, if a car catches on fire in a rainstorm, the rain will put it out. But somehow the fire kept burning during the rainstorm. Now, her husband is not working. He's been suspended on suspicion of having an affair with a student. So Eve is obviously not happy about this. This has been going on for months, and he's been behaving strangely. He denies that he was having an affair with this student, but he was caught like in a picture, hugging her at her front door in the middle of the night or something, and looks pretty obvious what's going on. But the police, want to talk to her, and she's worried about her husband because, she still loves him, so that kind of thing. But they also suspect her maybe of killing him because, it's not a secret that he's been suspended and for having an affair. So maybe she disappeared him somehow. And we get a sense of her at home. Her father-in-law, the other professor's father, lives with them. He's had a stroke and he's in a wheelchair, and he's kind of like, tagging along for a lot of this book and part of the story. So she goes to the police station to talk to the police, and that's the end of the first chapter. And the second chapter, to be honest, I wasn't really paying that close of attention. I'm that kind of reader. I don't always focus 100% on like the title of a chapter. I felt like that Eve was having like an acid trip. Like somebody's in the police station seeing ghosts and images of dead bodies in a drain pipe and all kinds of weird like stuff going on. And after I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is a different character. What's happening is the book is told from multiple first-person perspectives. Chapter 1 is I, Eve, saw this. Chapter 2 is I, Jonah, a psychic private detective, through his point of view. After I figured that out, the book started to make more sense. And then there's a third first-person narrative going on. So there's like this triple I, we, first-person thread going in the book. The third one is Max, who's the police detective assigned to investigate Eve's husband's disappearance. He's also Jonah, the psychic detective's best friend, was his best friend until Jonah really screwed up his life with his obsessive, crazy crap. Jonah is, okay, I don't know how to say this. Jonah is an interesting character, but if you're not into like the psychic thing, it's a little grating. You're like, this guy's always seeing things, and he's got some sixth, seventh, eighth sense of how stuff is really happening. Everybody thinks he's crazy. You think he's crazy. He thinks he's crazy sometimes. He meets Eve, and they definitely don't like meet cute. She can't stand him on sight, and he shows up out of nowhere saying, I can help you find your husband. She's like, who the hell are you? Get out. I'm a scientist. I believe in data. Psychic is BS. I don't have time for this. Get out, get out, get out. But then they eventually team up, and that's really the book, and I don't want to spoil it. And I will say it's a pretty effective mystery. You're definitely in this for an interesting ride. There's a lot of suspense. There's a lot of character. It's a full book. You're getting an interesting mystery going. There's clues. There's things you don't understand. You're trying to figure out. The story takes you to a place that you're not expecting, and it's effective. There's a little. It gets to be a little much at some point, though. It's like, in the middle of all this, there's a huge ice storm, and not only their lives in danger, and they're trying to save someone's life, and trying to find the husband, but there's an ice storm, and the car can't drive. And it's like, I almost felt like a writing professor saying, you got to raise the stakes here, Mindy. It's not enough. It's not enough that their lives are in danger. They have to be in an ice storm where the car could skid off the road and they'll get killed at any second, just to keep the goosebumps going. Anyway, but you go for the ride, and it's an effective mystery. So I'd check it out, and I got a feeling this is kind of going to be a series with Jonah, the psychic detective. So if you're into that, maybe pay attention to how it develops over time.